So the first thing I'm going to do is sample these colors. I definitely want to have these poster colors at my disposal. So I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool and click on these various colors and add them to my palette. So I'm going to click on that, and now you can see it is selected on my color bar. I'm going to click Add Color and give it a name, and I'm just going to call this one Aqua. You know, I'm going to preface each one with poster, P-O-S-T-E-R, Aqua. Okay. And so that's the Aqua. Click on this one. There it is, selected. New color, call this one the Poster Green. Okay. And you can see they're adding to my palette now. So each time I click on one of these colors and then click the little the Add Color button there, I can name it and it will be added to my palette, and then I can use that. So I'm quickly adding these guys. Aqua green, this is kind of light. Aqua. So those are the 4 greens of the poster. I think I got them all, or the 3, right? 1, 2, 3, and then the yellow. Okay. And then I want to get this blue, and I'm going to call that one Poster Blue. And then lastly, this red, I'm going to call that the Poster Red. And you definitely want to do this process because the colors on this poster are really nice. That's a big chunk of what this poster is, this beautiful coloring. Okay, so now I'm going to make that poster layer small again, just kind of shove it up into the corner there. And I don't really need it for a little while. Okay, so you know, I talked about coloring these, just coloring the stuff in, and you know the deal. You just click on the color in the paint bucket, and you start coloring the stuff in, right? So that's one way to do it. But I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to get rid of this layer altogether and show you a different way to tackle this project, which honestly I think is a little bit better than what I had to do on before. So rather than drawing out these lines, I'm actually going to use this fill tool right there. It's right above the paint bucket. And if you click on fill tool and then go up to, it's the toolbar at the top, and choose polygon, you're going to love this. So with polygon selected, I can now pick the color I want to color with, and the main color of this thing is this aqua. So that's the one I'm going to use here to do the bulk of this project. And maybe get this a little more visible. Okay, so on a new layer, its own layer, I'm going to go to that polygon tool and start drawing out this glacier. And it can be any way you want. It doesn't have to be the same as the one that's there. So you can see I've gone off the page, and now I'm going to come down and make sure that this shape that I've created is covering up the whole thing. To close it, you just get real close to where you started and then double click. So double click, and then it closes the shape and fills it in. So there you go. So that's the main glacier. All right, so now I'm going to come in with with this yellow color. So I'm clicking on that in my palette and using the same tool. I'm going to make some of these crevices that they were showing here, right? So I'll just maybe start here. And just, I don't want to spend too much time. You can do a better job than me, but I'm showing you basically how to use this method where you are using this polygon tool instead of drawing the lines and such. And I do think this is a little bit better than using that other method. Yeah, something like that. There you go. Just having fun with it. Doesn't have to be anywhere near exactly what they did, you know. You can do your own design. And sorry if I'm taking a long time here. Having too much fun. And it's easy to fix. For example, if I wasn't happy with that, I could just add a little add a little to that. You know, I think that maybe is a little better. And just go right over the top of it. There you go. Or just like that. You just keep adding to your work. Okay, and then lastly, this guy down at the bottom. So you're getting the idea here, I hope. And if you have any questions, please ask. As I do this, I won't be more than another couple minutes here. I do want to get it finished since I'll do the trouble of starting it here. And yeah, and if you do different layers, you'll probably find it works better to do it on multiple layers. It certainly gives you more flexibility. I am not taking the trouble to do that. I'm just doing it on one layer right now. But honestly, I recommend doing each of these colors on its own layer. And that way you can really move them around and fine tune it, you know. Remember, double clicking seals that up. So when you get to the what you believe to be close of your polygon, just double click. There it is. Good. All right, I think that's good enough. And I'm going to leave it at that. To do the black, I'll make a new layer and drop that behind. And I'll just take my paint can with black and drop that in there. Boom. There we go. And I'm going to make another layer on top of my iceberg. And this one is also going to be black. This will be the bottom of it. So I'm just going to go to my, not my polygon shape, same tool, but I'll just go to rectangle now and make this black area down here. Excellent. And now I'll make another layer, and I'm going to use the blue that we got off of our drawing there, the ocean blue, poster blue. And I'm going to make this small area for the boat, basically like that. Yeah. So that's looking pretty good. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. So now for the boat. And the boat I found on the internet and I've put on the website for you. And this is the one. I'm going to drop it in here. You can find your own if you like, but I'm going to use the one that I put on our Canvas website. And you can save it just like you did the Alaska poster and drop it in here the same exact way. So there it is. And I'm going to move it down a little bit lower, just right on top of this area down here, and zoom in on it. It's on its own layer. And I'm going to get rid of the white, okay? Get rid of the portion of this that I don't want as well. So first thing I can do is get rid of everything below waterline. So if I just take my my rectangle selection tool there, and on this layer, just go right to the waterline and actually show you where the waterline is, right there. And just hit delete. So just get rid of all that. Don't need anything below waterline to show. The next thing I'm going to do is get rid of the white that I don't want. So that's pretty easy. Just going to get my magic wand tool and make sure it's on layer. So up here at the top, I got my magic wand turned to layer. Bump that tolerance up a bit, maybe do like around 50. And start picking the white areas and then hitting delete, getting rid of it. And any of this stuff that hangs around, you can just use your eraser to get rid of. You know, for example, this stuff here, just delete that, get rid of that, and any of the stuff on the sides you don't want. You can fix this up and make it as nice as you want. You might choose to get rid of these lines. It depends how fancy you want it to be. This image that I found is actually pretty detailed, and it doesn't have to be quite that detailed. Anyway, with my tolerance on 50, I am going around here and deleting all these areas, trying to get this thing as clean as possible. And it's going to take you a little time to do that. And if you zoom in, you'll find that it's quite a bit easier. I'll zoom in a little more here. And just get rid of this stuff that shouldn't be visible, you know. And like I said, you may just want to delete it outright. That's your call, how detailed you want this to be. I definitely get rid of this stuff that I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of the big things, so there's not just a lot of white showing on this. And I think that'll do it right now. Like I said, you can do a better job if you wanted. So let's start coloring this thing. I'm going to go to the red and do the flags. So I'm going to grab my paint bucket and get those flags taken care of. Bump that tolerance up again quite a bit. And yeah, color the flags. That looks nice. Do the smokestack tops. They're an orange color. So you could click that off the drawing or whatever. And get those. There they are. The smokestacks themselves are black. So we'll fill those in. You might be able to find a less detailed ship on the internet. This one, like I said, is super accurate, so that's why it's a little more difficult to do because it's so detailed. You may or you may not want closed gaps on. Closed gaps is going to give you a little bit of trouble when you try to do these narrow areas like I'm doing right now. All right, and I'm not going to go to town on this. I'll let you guys get that figured out. What else we got to do with this ship? It has white, that white and that green, and then black on the bottom. I'm going to do the black on the bottom pretty easily. So to do that straight line of black, I'm going to take my rectangular selection tool and just make a rectangular selection. Check this out. And just kind of go across the ship at that level right there. There it is. And I am going to color in the ship to that level with the paint can. So it won't go past that. So I'm using the did that work? I should move that up so I can see, just to make sure that actually worked. Yeah, that worked good. I should have done that over the blue so that you could see what I was doing. I'm going to undo that again so you can really see how I did that. And put it up on the blue there. Okay. So move this back onto the blue. That's where it's going to go anyway. So to show you how I did that, I took the rectangular selection tool and just had it going right about where that rudder is, and then took the paint bucket with black, and you see it will fill in the ship, but not outside of the selection area. So if you click inside here, you can see you get everything, but it won't go above that selection line, which is good. Now I'll unselect Control D, and so that's the look that we were after there. You could also go big and go something like that. I'm going to keep it low. I think that's closer to what the actual one looked like there. Your call. I'm going to get that little bit right there. All right. And now the green color, that's this darker green right above it. And I'm just going to click on that color and with the paint bucket, try to get this in here. Hopefully it won't spill out. I got closed gaps on the first one. And I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. There. It's looking good so far. Might want to increase that tolerance. There we go. That's looking better. Or just the whole thing. Well, that's ridiculous. To what extent you do it, it's up to you. I wanted to have that white along the bottom there. So that's kind of the look I'm after. Trying to do it as close to the real thing as possible. And that's close. Does it have white above it? That's pretty close to what it is. But you get the idea how to do it. So if you want to color that better, you are welcome to. This ship isn't quite that big in the real thing, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to hit Control T and then shrink it down now. But I would definitely color it in its large size. So shrink it down a little bit. Hit OK. And then place it maybe right about there. All right, guys.